Long ago, in a quiet countryside village where houses stood apart, built from wood and bamboo, nestled beside a dense forest, there lived a young woman named Mia. Orphaned since childhood, she had grown into a beautiful and kind-hearted 20-year-old, loved by many in the village. Among the admirers, one man had captured her heart, Ethan, a humble villager with strong arms and a warm soul. Their love was gentle and pure. Ethan often visited Mia's home to help her split wood, fetch water, and tend the garden. After a few months of courtship, Ethan's family approached Mia to ask for her hand in engagement, and soon the village prepared for a joyous celebration. On the day of their wedding, guests gathered at the village church, laughing and singing as the couple exchanged vows. Mia and Ethan started their life together with smiles and hope in their eyes. But peace in the village was often short-lived. A month after the wedding, Ethan had to leave Mia behind to make a living. He traveled across the provinces, selling hand-woven cloth, traditional krama, and garments from a cart drawn by 2 oxen. As was custom, such journeys could last years. Mia remained in their home, weaving sampa and spinning threads by candlelight. Her hands worked tirelessly to prepare items for Ethan to sell upon his return. One quiet morning, a year into Ethan's absence, Mia found her house without firewood. Determined, she took an axe and headed into the forest alone. As she chopped wood beneath the tall trees, the axe slipped, striking her foot deeply. She collapsed from the pain, blood pooling beneath her, and eventually lost consciousness. Night fell with heavy rain, thunder rumbling above the forest. Days passed. Weak and cold, Mia lay beneath the trees, hungry, bleeding, and alone. No one came. Her final breath disappeared into the howling wind. A week later, at midnight, a merchant passed her house with a cart drawn by oxen. He paused when he heard a soft voice call out, "Uncle, have you seen my husband?" Startled, he looked toward the house. In the flickering moonlight, he saw a woman holding a baby. Her face was pale and bloodied, her eyes large and hollow, her hair soaked and tangled. The merchant struck the oxen and fled, but the voice followed him, closer now, as if it came from beneath the cart. Terrified, he looked down and saw her, still carrying the baby, eyes wide, arms stretching unnaturally long beneath the cart. Screaming, he jumped off and ran deep into the forest. From then on, the villagers avoided Mia's house after dark. Some swore they saw her sitting on the ladder outside, cradling the baby, waiting for her husband to return. One night, a traveler from a distant village passed by. A soft voice greeted him. "Uncle, where are you going?" "If you don't mind, ride with me." The girl was quiet and kind, pulling a cart. Trusting her, the traveler accepted. As they rode and chatted, he turned his head, only to find himself seated atop a tall bamboo tree, screaming for help. Villagers rescued him the next morning, trembling and muttering of ghosts. A year and a half later, Ethan returned to the village late at night. On the path, a fellow villager stopped him. "Mia, she died over a year ago," the man said quietly. Ethan refused to believe it. He ran straight to his home. There, under the warm half-moon, lit by candlelight, stood Mia with a baby in her arms, just as he remembered her. He rushed to embrace her. They shared a quiet meal. The food was warm and familiar, until he looked down again. Worms crawling across his plate. He blinked. What was happening? That night, they lay on mats in the glow of the candle. As Ethan drifted to sleep, Mia's face shifted. Wounds opened, blood dripped, worms writhed from her skin. She devoured them as he slept soundly beside her. The next morning, Ethan visited his father after many years. When his father again told him the truth of Mia's death, Ethan shouted, "Stop! I don't believe you. I just slept beside her last night." Confused and shaking, he returned home. His mind swirled with fear. Sitting on the steps, he recalled an old saying, "To see the truth of spirits, look between your feet to where they stand." He tried it. From the open kitchen window, he saw Mia, but not the woman he remembered. She was pale, bloodied, with long arms that reached below the floor, cradling her child beneath the house. His heart pounded. He ran, calling for his father. "Help! Ghost! Please help!" He collapsed, unconscious from terror. Days later, a traditional healer performed sacred rituals. Only then did Ethan return to himself. Back at the house, Mia waited, cooking, preparing meals. But Ethan never returned. Night after night, she wandered from house to house asking, "Have you seen my husband?" Doors shut early, windows were sealed, but her voice echoed through the night. One evening, a childhood friend approached her home. Before she could knock, a voice whispered, "Have you seen my husband?" Suddenly, something cold grabbed her ankle. She screamed and fled, locking herself inside. Mia's spirit grew more desperate. She visited Ethan's father's house, calling, "Dear husband, Ethan." Ethan saw her, a towering ghost with glowing red eyes. He ran. She followed, giant and wailing. "Why are you running from me? I've waited." He ran until he reached the village church and burst through its doors. Priests gathered quickly, reciting prayers from the Psalms, the Gospels, and the Old Testament. They blessed the doorway, read holy verses, and performed rites for the lost soul. Outside, Mia's voice echoed in grief, then faded into silence, and thus peace returned. Yet to this day, when the wind blows through the bamboo leaves, villagers say they still hear a soft voice. "Uncle, have you seen my husband?"